responded to First Lady Dr. Jill Biden, first inviting LSU and Iowa to the White House, then walking back those comments. Reese said on the I Am Athlete podcast, quote, "If we were to lose, we wouldn't be getting invited to the White House. I don't accept the apology because you said what you said. They can have that spotlight. We'll go to the Obamas. We'll go see Michelle. We'll go see Barack." Skip, I'm going to start with you on this one. What's your reaction to Angel Reese's comments?
Shannon, I cannot blame her.
Okay.
Look, big picture, for the sake of women's basketball coming off the most watched women's basketball game in history, do I wish the negativity would subside? I do. But in my view, my gut feeling is that what our First Lady said on Monday came across as this unspoken, between the lines, implied racism.
Right.
It smacked of, oh, poor Caitlin had to endure that shameful taunting by Angel Reese. So let's bring poor Caitlin's white Iowa team to the White House and celebrate them too. It smacked of that. It came across to me as this unintentional, unwitting, sort of naive white racism. That's what it came across as. And as Angel said yesterday, her first point was, if we were to lose, we would not be getting invited to the White House, a point you made right away. Bingo. Then number two, she says, I remember she made a comment about both teams should be invited because of sportsmanship. And I'm like, this is Angel, and I'm like, are you saying that because of what I did? It smacked of that. It came across to me like that. And yet Angel said she didn't, she said, I don't accept her apology. Well, the truth is, Jill Biden did not apologize.
Right.
Her press secretary reissued a statement that was just an amended statement that omitted Iowa. Oh, we look forward to having LSU at the White House.
Right.
Well, she didn't say, I'm so sorry for what I said. She just simply said, we look forward to having only LSU come to the White House,
right.
No Iowa mentioned.
Right.
Well, so let's not go so far as to say, I don't accept her apology, because there was no apology. And the press secretary said that Jill Biden was just trying to celebrate all the great success of Title IX and what an historic game this was. I'm sorry, she was there. Jill Biden was there.
Yeah.
It was not an historic game because it was a wipeout.
Yes.
It was 102-85.
Right.
LSU proved without a doubt they were the better team.
Yes.
They shot the ball better. They rebounded the ball better. They defended at a higher level than Iowa could defend.
Yes.
So it was not a great game. To me, it was a great performance by LSU.
Right.
And Caitlin had a great run through the tournament, and none of us doubt her greatness.
Right.
But she got outplayed in the second half by Alexis Morris, who guarded her and then outperformed her on the offensive end. I'm sorry, Iowa did nothing to deserve an invitation to the White House. And even Caitlin Clark herself said the other day, we don't want to go because we didn't earn it. We didn't deserve it.
Right.
So in the end, I just can't blame Angel for saying what she said, to the point that she finally said, we'll just go visit the Obamas. Right. Okay, great, I got you. Slippery slope here, though, is she does play for a team, and I don't know if her teammates feel exactly the same way she does.
We know coach does it.
Bingo.
That's not her call whether or not they go or do not go to the White House.
It could be her individual personal call.
Right, right, but that's not her call.
No.
And we know this. We know her head coach is a very staunch supporter of the previous president. That's why so how's he going to...
Well, by the way, that same head coach, as you pointed out a few days ago, had nothing good to say about Brittany Griner.
Right. That's my point.
Right?
Skip, and because of all the controversy, she's been able to skate up under the radar with all the slippery things that she's done over the last, but that's neither here nor there. This is about Andrew. Hey, for me, Skip, and I want to say this. I'm not sure that it's Angel's call whether or not the team goes to visit the White House.
Yeah.
She might say, I'm not going.
Yes, she could.
And then the team travel on. I'm not sure her head coach is going to be there. So that's going to be a bad look if they show up and the head coach doesn't, because she's not the biggest Biden supporter.
Okay.
That said, Skip, I do not believe what Dr. Biden said is unforgivable. Yes, she was wrong for uttering the possibility that the winning team and the losing team could be in the White House in attendance. She was wrong for that. But is that unforgivable? Was she so gross in what she said that there's no possible way Angel Reese can find it in her heart and say, you know what? She was wrong. She made a mistake. Because forgiveness is not for Dr. Biden, it's for you. You still in bondage. You still letting this, you're not even enjoying your moment.
No.
You are the MOP. You are a champion, a first-time champion for LSU. And you're not enjoying that moment because you're harboring this sentiment towards Dr. Biden.
So you're saying she should just let it go?
Move on.
Okay.
Move on, Skip. It wasn't a great game because they scored the second most points ever in a national championship game.
It's 102.
102. The 103 was only topped by UNLV when they blew out Duke in, 1990? I think that was 90 when they blew them out.
Oh, you're talking about men?
Men or women.
Yes.
Men or women. That's the second most points ever been scored in a national championship game. But I think it's time to move on because it's overshadowing this sentiment because I think the thing, Skip, a lot of people is on her side because they realized that Dr. Biden was wrong in trying to invite Iowa. We know why she wanted to invite Iowa. It wasn't no sportsmanship. You play, you win, and you don't win, you move on. But I think now the tide might be shifting because everybody says, oh, come on, Angel, now. It's time to let it go.
Okay.
You made your point.
Yeah.
We agree with the point that you made.
She had a point to make. Yes.
But now it's time to move on and let everybody else move on. Go enjoy this victory, this hard-fought victory that you got. You ran the gauntlet. Nobody really gave you guys a chance outside of the people in your locker room.
Yep.
And you did the thing. You did that. But now it's time to move on. So continuously to keep this going, I don't accept her apology. Granted, she might not have apologized because that was the wording of a press secretary.
Yes.
Dr. Biden could have easily said, you know, guys, after looking back at it, I was wrong.
Could have.
And that would have been the right thing to do because you didn't have your press secretary extend the invite. Says, well, I think what we should do is ask Joe to invite, well, they're not going to say Joe, but Mr. President, to invite both teams. The press secretary didn't do that. You stepped before that. And I read, Skip, it was met with a smattering of boos when she actually uttered that. I think she was in Denver, if I'm not mistaken.
At the Capitol building?
Yeah. So for me, Skip, I just think, look, I get it. And we know there are a lot of African Americans that were very proud of what the Obamas were able to do. The first black president, 2-term, that goes without saying because I think that's a hell of an accomplishment for a president because we just saw what happened. You could easily be one and done. It's easy to flip the tide. And he came in with the recession. With that being said, Skip, I think, Angel, just let it go.
Okay.
It's time to let it go. You made your point, a very valid point. And you are the quintessential, you are the essence of what we want our young women, black women, to grow up to be.
Okay.
I love everything about you and how well you've spoken on this issue.
Yeah.
But I think it's time to put it to bed now.
Okay. But would you agree that she was the unspoken, implied focal point of the First Lady's original comments on Monday?
Yeah.
Like unspoken, it felt like it was sort of directed at Angel.
Well, she was the focal point of all the arrows that were being shot at LSU. There wasn't anything at Kim Mulkey or Morris or any of the others. It was just her because it was the gestures in which she did that Caitlin Clark had just done 48 hours ago. It was the ring. We saw this. Skip, I remember Joe Burrow came off the field. What was he doing in the national championship game?
Come on.
That's what everybody does that. Okay. Steph Curry was doing it. But it's like, okay, we want our women to be treated equal, but when they do things like the men, that's not ladylike. What? Stop it. She's a champion. She's celebrated. Do you know these women, when you go to college and you play a sport, you dream of being a national champion. That's what you dream of. And a lot of times, Skip, these men and women, they'll move around to go to a school that gives them a better opportunity to win that. She felt that she had a better opportunity to win the national championship at LSU than she did at Maryland. And Maryland is normally always in the postseason.
Pretty good, yep.
And so for me, Skip, I just think it's time to let it go. She's made a point. It is a very valid point.
It is.
Dr. Biden, the first lady, she was wrong in what she said. You don't send the invitation. She took a lot of arrows, a lot of people saying really malicious things, and we know why they said it about her, because of her skin complexion, and we know who said it. The people that skin didn't match hers, and I get that. And all the blowback and the criticism that she received was unwarranted. But now, Skip, we're 3-4 days removed from this. It's time to let it go.
Okay. I will give you this. I mentioned this or got into it on my podcast yesterday. My only concern for Angel, who has great charisma, she's very good with the media.
Yes.
I think she's almost on a media tour now. Okay. My only concern is she admitted right after the game, or acknowledged or volunteered, that this is all about Twitter, that she's been carefully following her responses, replies on Twitter all year long, and I saved all my screenshots. She was responding back to people on Twitter. My concern was that she gets a little overamped and overfueled by a few people on Twitter, and all of a sudden she goes a little bit over the edge with her vitriol about this whole situation. Again, I'm with her. I can't blame, I can't condemn.
But you know what, Skip? I think we're almost trained like that. Somebody can say 1,000, I mean, you have a post and somebody say 1,000 great things, but somehow our eyes will always automatically go to the one negative. I hate you. You make me sick.
You know what that is? That's called being human. That's what that is.
And so I'm sure there are a lot of in those comments that says, girl, you Barbie, you doing your thing. I love the way you do. I love your bundles. I love your gel nails. I love the eyelashes. I love everything about you. I love how you represent strong, powerful black women. I love the way you speak. But it's that one. Go back to where you came from. You make me sick. That's not ladylike.
Thing. You're too hood. You're too ghetto.
Right. I don't know how and why we're wired like that, Skip. But it seems like we can become very modest when somebody, say something good about it. We're very humble. And the minute, what you talking about?
And it sticks in your craw. And you can't get it out.
It does.
How dare you?
It's hard. But I think because she's new to this newfound fandom that she has.
Good point.
I think now she understands that now they're going to start to come. And they're going to start to try to get you out of your character. They're going to try to start to say things and make you lash back out at them.
As I always say, they try to redefine who you are.
Yes.
Whew.
I've said it about other athletes, and it applies here with Angel as well. The Twitter sphere does not have your best interest at heart. I certainly hope she has some good mentors surrounding her, helping her navigate this situation.